am a doctor. While on a train, I witnessed a boy fall from the upper bunk of a hard sleeper. I rushed to help immediately, but tragically, the boy did not survive. The boy's mother attacked me, punching and kicking, accusing me of causing her son's death. The boy's father charged at me and viciously stabbed me multiple times. My blood and intestines spilled everywhere, and I succumbed to my severe injuries. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the train. And the boy was causing a commotion in the carriage. I was woken by the noise. The boy was yelling and running around the carriage, disturbing all the passengers. Little boy, can you stop making noise? Everyone wants to rest. I want to make noise. What are you going to do about it? Nah nah nah. The boy didn't care and even made a face at the person who spoke up. The passengers became even more irritated. Don't the parents care at all? This is a public place. You know this is a public place. It's not your house. Can you control my son? Arguing with a child. What kind of behavior is this? People nowadays really lack manners. If you don't like the noise, why not travel in first class? Why squeeze into a train? The woman in red rolled her eyes, clearly disdainful. I recognized her. Her name was Su Hong, the boy's mother. In a past life, the boy fell from the upper bunk, and I rushed to give him CPR immediately, not stopping for a second. I kept going for over 10 minutes until we reached the nearest station and an ambulance arrived. By that time, I was drenched in sweat, and my arms trembled from exhaustion, but ultimately, the boy still died in the emergency room. Su Hong collapsed in tears, taking her anger out on me. She pinned me down, her eyes red as she choked me, screaming piercingly, "It's all your fault my son died. You did this on purpose. You might as well die too." I was overwhelmed by the sensation of suffocation. Thankfully, bystanders pulled Su Hong away just in time to save my life, but before I could feel relieved for long, I was cornered in an alley by the boy's father. I can't remember how many times he stabbed me. All I felt was unbearable pain everywhere. When I regained consciousness, I was back on the train. The boy had climbed back up to the upper bunk above me, dangling his legs down, kicking near my face. I couldn't help but frown and shifted to the side. The next second, a cup of water fell from above, soaking the bed. This had also happened in my past life. I was unprepared and got my knee completely wet, and not one of them apologized. Su Hong and I had a heated argument because of this, but now, I had no desire to argue. I just wanted to get as far away from this family as possible. My heart was pounding. I had another chance to start over. This time, I was determined to survive. Just then, a conductor arrived in the carriage. Passengers complained about the boy. Long-distance train travel is exhausting enough without a hyperactive boy starting his antics from 5 or 6 in the morning, keeping everyone awake. The passengers were at their wits' end. The conductor, polite and gentle, advised Su Hong to keep an eye on her child and maintain quiet in the carriage. But Su Hong was not about to take her advice. Her eyes widened. "Is there a law that says you must be quiet on a train? You can't even talk during the day. Maybe next time everyone should sew their mouths shut before getting on a train. The little girl doesn't learn good things, she only knows how to bully us common folk. It's completely unjust." The boy also joined in, cursing at the attendant with all sorts of foul language. Su Hong not only didn't stop him, but she actually looked proud. The attendant's eyes welled up with tears. I've seen this kind of scene before, but Su Hong was still causing a scene. I quickly packed my luggage, only thinking about leaving the compartment as soon as possible, but trouble doesn't come alone. The boy was running in the narrow compartment and bumped into me heavily. He fell down on his bottom. Su Hong forcefully pushed me aside and cradled the boy's head, wailing, "My poor baby, these ruthless people. If they can't out-talk me, they resort to hurting my child." When I looked up, I found myself pushed next to the boy's father. Li Cheng had been sitting silently in a corner and now he was staring coldly at me. I shivered instinctively and hastily averted my gaze. A numbing sensation enveloped me, as if a knife was continuously moving in and out of my body. I felt dizzy, trembling, my heart racing, and my hands gripping the handrail went weak. The attendant quickly supported me. Su Hong's loud voice rang out again, "Shameless. You even tried to scam us first. Stop pretending. You owe my son an apology, and a compensation. I want to see what kind of precious person you are." Barely touched and already half dead, I just felt a buzzing pain in my head. Su Hong's voice was particularly grating. Some passengers spoke up for me, blocking Su Hong. "Don't go too far. You can't afford the responsibility if something really happens." "Exactly. Show some mercy where you can." I couldn't care less about anything else and urgently pleaded with the attendant, "Please get me out of here. I beg you." I sat down by the aisle, the discomfort slowly fading, but I still felt very uneasy. If I just stay away from that family of 3, I should be fine, right? Hospital work is busy. I haven't been home for over half a year. I finally have some time off, and my parents are waiting at home for me to join them for a family meal. Suddenly, the train announcement came on. "If there are medical personnel on board, please proceed to car 7, thank you." I instinctively stood up, hesitated for a moment, then quickly sat back down. If I reveal now that I'm a doctor, and if the boy needs emergency aid again, I might end up like I did in my previous life. I've been committed to the medical field since high school, practicing medicine for 5 years with dedication, always adhering to the Hippocratic Oath, but this time, I'm truly scared. The pain was too much. The announcement continued to sound. I remembered the injuries of the woman from my previous life, who seemed to have a kind nature. I gritted my teeth and hurried toward car 7. I just couldn't stand by and watch. I am a doctor after all. The lady was holding her leg and gasping in pain. She got scalded accidentally while handling hot water. Her thigh was badly burned, looking quite frightening. I quickly cooled her skin with water, applied and reapplied burn ointment, and instructed her on further care. I had treated her once before in a past life, making my actions more confident this time. She repeatedly thanked me. Before I could even return a smile, the attendant handed me a blank form. My heart skipped a beat. I glanced over it quickly and indeed, it was the registration form I had filled out in a past life. It included various personal details, including my medical license number and place of practice. I instinctively refused. I'm sorry. I'm not a doctor. The elder sister looked surprised. The flight attendant's face also changed. How can you treat a passenger's wound without being a doctor? Are you sure your procedure was correct? What if the medication is inappropriate and causes other consequences? Can you take responsibility for that? A pang of worry hit me. Had I made a mistake coming here? The elder sister laughed heartily, breaking the tension for me. It's okay. I think the young lady did a great job. I feel much better now. She meant well. You can't blame her. Seeing this, the flight attendant did not persist further and apologized to me before leaving. Luckily, the elder sister really had a good nature. I finally breathed a sigh of relief. Elder sister, thank you. She waved her hands dismissively. How is this reversed? You helped me. I should be the one thanking you. Young lady, I'm really grateful. I was panicking earlier. The attendant was also afraid of being held responsible, alas. These days, there are too many cases of people biting back. Everyone is cautious about helping others. Thankfully, you dared to step in and help me. Otherwise I really wouldn't have known what to do. I was filled with mixed emotions. Indeed, when those who offer help in good faith are met with retaliation, who would dare to step forward again? I had hesitated too. Don't worry, young lady. I think the medication is right. I'm barely in pain anymore, even if something does go wrong. I definitely won't trouble you. You can record this. I couldn't help but smile wryly, continuously agreeing with her. After a moment of thought, I decided to reassure her further. Actually, I've been burned before, and this is how the doctor treated me. This medication really works. Or else I wouldn't have dared to apply it. The elder sister smiled even more brightly. A young girl, about 10 years old, handed me an apple. With her eyes moist, she spoke softly, "Sister. Thank you for saving my mom. This apple is for you. It's very sweet." With a smile on her face, I couldn't resist patting her on the head. Thank you for the apple. The girl shyly hid behind the elder sister. I took a big bite of the apple, and it was indeed very sweet. Standing by the aisle, I gazed at the receding scenery in deep thought. The two children were about the same age, but behaved so differently. Back then, I was only focused on escaping. But now thinking about the little boy made me uneasy. He was so young, a life in itself. Could I really just ignore him? If he fell unconscious again and an announcement was made, could I really stay hidden in good conscience? Images flashed before my eyes, the boy's pale face, Su Hong's angry eyes, and Li Cheng's indifferent gaze. I wanted to save him, but I was also scared of death. I hesitated, unsure of what to do. Suddenly, someone tapped me on the shoulder, followed by a surprised voice. "Lin Qing, aren't you supposed to be in med?" My heart skipped a beat, and I quickly covered his mouth. After looking around to make sure no one noticed us, I finally relaxed. The tall figure in front of me was all smiles. Oh, it was Pei Song, my high school classmate. Speaking of which, Pei Song was a big reason I chose the path of medicine. During a high school physical education class, Pei Song fell off the horizontal bar and passed out from holding his breath. At that time, I had only learned a bit of first aid from my uncle. I don't know what I was thinking, but I actually dared to go over and perform CPR on him. Honestly, I don't even remember if my technique was correct, but the outcome was gratifying. I actually managed to revive him. I was overjoyed. It was from that moment that I began to entertain the idea of becoming a doctor. My grades were always mediocre to get into medical school. I don't know how many textbooks I went through or how many late nights I stayed up, but eventually, I succeeded. Ironically, despite my initial intention to save lives and help the injured, I ended up dying in what amounted to a distorted form of patient harassment. Seeing me silent for a long time, Pei Song looked puzzled. "What are you thinking about? You seem so secretive," I asked seriously. "Pei Song, can you do me a favor? It might be dangerous." "Of course," he replied without hesitation. Adding teasingly, "After all, you are my lifesaver," I smiled, relieved. At that moment, the scales in my heart completely tipped. I just couldn't stand by and watch the boy die. With the lessons learned from the past, I was sure to protect myself first, then try to save the boy. Even if something went wrong this time, Pei Song was there. He was an athlete with excellent physical condition, unafraid even to confront Li Cheng face to face. Finally, I felt some confidence. "All right, wait here for me. I'll go handle something." I hurried back to the original carriage. The scene that unfolded before my eyes was shocking. The boy's legs were dangling over the handrail in the aisle, his whole body swaying, at risk of falling at any moment. "Be careful." As soon as I spoke, the boy lost his balance, and I quickly stepped forward to catch him. Fortunately, I protected him well, and he didn't suffer any bumps. I set him down, about to give him a few more warnings. After all, he had just had an accident and should have learned his lesson. Maybe now he would listen to some advice. But what he did next truly chilled my heart. As soon as the boy stood up, he immediately kicked hard at my shin. "It's all your fault for shouting like that. You scared me into almost falling." His kick was fast and fierce, and I couldn't dodge in time. My shin hurt terribly, and anger rose in me, the suppressed fear suddenly exploding. I didn't care about the pain anymore. I moved forward against the boy's attack, grabbed his arms from behind, clasped his neck, and firmly pinned him on the bed. "Apologize to me, right now." Su Hong, who had been smiling at the side, now saw me gaining the upper hand and hurriedly came over to push me away. "What's wrong with you? You didn't even ask for compensation earlier, and now you come back to hit my child? That's so immoral." "Everyone, come and see, someone is bullying a child here." I just had to laugh. "I saved him just now." "You didn't see that? Then your child kicked me." "You didn't see that? Now when I was about to discipline him, you saw that? Your eyes are really sharp, aren't they? Mom, she dared to hit me. You have to help me hit her back." The boy cried loudly, yet not a single tear could be seen. I gave him a cold glance. Some people, when they face trouble, it's simply what they deserve. I shouldn't have been soft-hearted. At that moment, there were no other people in the carriage, just the three of us. Su Hong was fiercely pulling at me, her strength was formidable, and I could only passively resist. The boy was also observing and would occasionally kick me. During the struggle, I was thrown to the side, my right elbow slamming hard against the railing. I heard a loud crack and instantly broke out in a cold sweat. My right arm was probably dislocated, my shoulder bag was also flung away, its contents scattering all over, creating a mess. The loud noise finally attracted a lot of passengers. The conductor hurried over as well. Su Hong was quick to speak, playing the villain who complains first. "Just now, my son and I were sitting here peacefully when this woman suddenly came back and started hitting us. If I weren't strong, who knows how badly we would have been bullied. She had hit my son before, and she specifically waited until the carriage was empty to come over and attack us. You must arrest her." I stood to the side, cradling my right arm, my forehead slick with cold sweat, coolly observing her performance. I waited for her to finish her nonsensical rant before calmly speaking up. "Why don't you ask everyone here if they believe your story?" The surrounding passengers, who had all had unpleasant experiences with them and knew their true character, had harbored resentment for a long time and were certainly not on their side now. "This woman just knows how to twist the truth. You can't listen to her words. The young girl is definitely innocent." "Exactly, the young girl looks seriously injured, and that woman is still playing the victim. I've been annoyed by this family for a long time. The child is lawless, and the adults don't bother to discipline. They truly deserve it." The onlooking passengers were buzzing with comments, unanimously blaming Su Hong and her family. Seeing the tide turn against her, Su Hong immediately sat down on the floor, kicking out wildly, starting her familiar drama of throwing a tantrum. "It's unjust, everyone is bullying us now. The child is just a bit lively, and yet he is despised. There's no tolerance in society anymore. My poor baby, she must pay compensation, or this won't be settled." Tears streamed down Su Hong's face, astonishing me with her performance, believe it or not. Some were actually fooled by her act, advising me to forgive and forget, not to be too hard. Those who were initially denouncing Su Hong now fell silent, encouraged by the effect. Su Hong cried even louder, her voice truly grating. "So, the boy carelessly throws water, swings his legs about almost hitting someone's face, showing no remorse despite his evident misbehavior, just a bit lively. He repays kindness with ingratitude, readily resorting to hitting and cursing, just a bit lively." She really had a way with words. No matter how the conductor tried to mediate, Su Hong remained unyielding. She wept bitterly, as if I had committed some heinous crime against her. Calmly, I lifted my phone and shook it. "All right then, let's call the police." The calls for help from car number 08 abruptly stopped. Su Hong's face was filled with panic. "Don't scare me. You're calling the police? Do you have evidence?" My little Bao and I both saw it. "You started the fight. I was merely defending myself." Right, isn't that so, Xiaobao? The woman asked assertively. The boy nodded vigorously. Yes, Su Hong, feeling emboldened, switched back to her arrogant tone. I won't waste more words with you, just pay us 20 or 30,000, and we can let this go. 20 or 30,000. She really was asking for the moon. Was the boy even scratched? I'm the one who's hurt. I turned to the conductor. If I call the police, you can pull up the surveillance footage from the train car, right? Yes. Ma'am, the conductor replied, seemingly relieved to deal with Su Hong, his voice betraying a hint of pleasure. Su Hong's face turned pale in an instant. She glanced frantically at the camera, then looked around as if searching for something to destroy the device. I couldn't help but be speechless. How ignorant could one be? Even if you destroy the camera now, the data is already stored in the backend. Besides, sabotaging railway facilities can land you in jail, I informed her. Completely panicked now, Su Hong blurted out defiantly, forget it. I won't argue with you anymore, let's just call it bad luck on our part, please just go. Unfortunately, her trembling voice made it all too clear. The other passengers noticed something was amiss and began clamoring to call the police to clarify the situation. Su Hong bowed her head, unusually silent, letting others make their comments without a word. Did she really think she could easily let this go? With a smirk, I pronounced each word clearly. You misunderstood. Now I'm the one who has an issue with you. My hand hurts so much I can't move it. It might be fractured. I'm going to sue you for intentional injury. You will definitely have to pay compensation, and you might even be detained. Su Hong looked up sharply. I unlocked my phone screen, pretending to dial. Suddenly, someone kicked Su Hong hard, and her somewhat corpulent body momentarily lifted into the air before her waist slammed heavily against the edge of the bunk, making a loud noise. The kick was strong and forceful. She was definitely not lightly injured. Everyone was stunned. I turned my head in shock. It was Li Chang. My heart clenched. Li Chang was standing right next to me, though I had no idea when he had returned. I instinctively moved aside, accidentally pulling at my arm, causing a sharp pain. Sweat broke out on my forehead again. Was this a stress response? It felt like I was seeing blood everywhere again. My limbs seemed to be in a state of excessive blood loss, going numb and weak. My wife has a bad temper, and I apologize for her. We will compensate for this injury. Cover all medical expenses. Is that an acceptable solution? Li Cheng said earnestly, his tone reasonable, which was completely at odds with his violent actions. I grew more frightened and bowed my head, pretending to be in severe pain, trying to calm myself. Perhaps seeing that I wasn't responding, Li Chang pressed Su Hong and the boy to apologize to me. In front of Li Chang, the two of them cowered like quails. I finally convinced myself none of my past life had happened yet. The current Li Chang wouldn't harm me. I couldn't appear too panicked. That would only raise suspicions. Even if I did call the police, for a conflict of this level, Su Hong wouldn't face any severe punishment. It would only entangle us further. It was better for me to clearly distance myself from their family. I accepted Li Chang's compensation and we reached a settlement. The crowd of onlookers dispersed. The attendant helped me gather my belongings scattered on the ground. Tisk, you're a doctor. Doctors these days are all heartless, only knowing how to ask for money. They know nothing else but to bully us, the common folks. I suddenly looked up, only to realize that Su Hong had picked up my medical license. With the issue resolved, she seemed reinvigorated, but I couldn't care less about her demeaning and mocking words anymore. I stood there numbly, my heart sinking to the depths. It felt as if all events were aligning back onto a familiar tragic path from my past life. Despite my efforts to avoid it, I still ended up arguing with Su Hong and revealing my identity as a doctor. In the end, was I destined to die at the hands of Li Chang? I couldn't help but steal a glance at Li Chang. He remained impassive, leaning against the railing, his expression neither sad nor happy. The terror within me was indescribable. I snatched my medical license and fled the carriage as if escaping. Wait a moment, 10. I didn't want to be so obedient, but my legs wouldn't respond. As if rooted to the spot, Li Chang moved in front of me, scrutinizing me for a long time. He suddenly smiled. You seem very afraid of me. My heart stopped. I was panicked to the extreme, yet my face settled into a complete calm, as if my soul had left my body. No, Li Chang ignored my response. He suddenly made a strange gesture, wrapping a charging cable around his hand several times before stretching it out with both hands. I was utterly confused. What was he doing? Li Chang quickly abandoned his action and walked back to a corner of the carriage. His stern face somehow looked more agreeable than his smile, which was truly unsettling. My soul snapped back into place, and I hurried over to Pei Song. Perhaps I was too frightened earlier, but I couldn't feel the pain in my hand. I plopped down next to Pei Song before I could catch my breath, gasping from the pain. Why are you in such a panic? What happened to your hand? Pei Song frowned, reaching out to check my injury. I quickly stopped him. It's just dislocated, nothing serious. Aren't you an orthopedic surgeon? Can you fix it yourself? I was silent for a moment, then said, no, we're almost at the station. I'll find a hospital to treat it. Pei Song nodded. That makes sense. I heard setting a dislocation is painful. Who can really bring themselves to do that? What exactly happened to your hand? What were you saying about handling some matter? Pei Song chattered on relentlessly. I couldn't focus on him, my mind racing with troubling thoughts. Su Hong and Li Cheng seemed unusually afraid of me calling the police, not just ordinarily afraid, but truly terrified, and Li Cheng's last gesture, was it something like strangling? I jumped up from my seat in shock. Pei Song, your brother is a police officer, right? Pei Song, startled, answered.
Ah.
Yes, then please ask him something for me. I stared intently into Pei Song's eyes, my tone serious. Is there a fugitive murderer named Li Cheng? Soon after, Pei Song's brother replied, no. I was somewhat taken aback, but also felt a bit amused. Was I too deeply influenced by my past life, to the point of being scared silly, to even have such an absurd thought? I breathed a sigh of relief, relaxed and leaned back comfortably in my chair. Pei Song, still eager for knowledge, curiously asked. Who is Li Cheng? After I explained the series of events that had just occurred, I asked him with a self-mocking smile, do you think I'm being too imaginative? Not at all. I think your thoughts are quite reasonable, but your brother checked, and it's not him. Pei Song's eyes sparkled. It's just the name that's not the same, he might be using a fake name. Wait here for me. Before Pei Song could finish his sentence, he dashed off so quickly I couldn't even hold him back. What was this tall guy up to? It wasn't long before Pei Song returned. He handed me his phone, looking quite pleased with himself. I looked at the chat record. Goodness. Pei Song had taken a high-definition photo of Li Cheng and sent it to his brother. I widened my eyes. He didn't notice, did he? Aren't you afraid of him? He seemed a bit perplexed. Of course he didn't notice. I'm not stupid. What's there to be afraid of? He doesn't look special. Just likes to keep a stern face. Doesn't necessarily mean he's a murderer. I felt a bit envious. Is this what they mean by ignorance is bliss? I saw that boy you were talking about. He's over there crawling around again, really doesn't learn. I just responded with an "oh." Expressionless. Pei Song suddenly got excited. Right, your reaction is correct. He's not your patient. Why do you care so much? You've already advised him, yet he hasn't restrained himself at all. If something really happens, it's his own fault. Besides, it's not certain something will happen. Don't carry such a heavy psychological burden. All right, look at how worried you've become. I glanced at him, lacking the desire to speak. Yes, in others' eyes, these are just unlikely events that haven't happened, and I really am worrying too much, but I have experienced it once myself. I know the likelihood of the boy getting into trouble is very high. After all, this life's development is almost the same as in my previous life, but good words are hard to persuade a doomed soul. I've done all I can. I'm not a god. I can't save someone hell-bent on finding their own demise. Maybe seeing me continuously gloomy, Pei Song began to comfort me again. Being a doctor these days has been overly mythologized by everyone. You have to be highly skilled and also possess a spirit of dedication. Everyone is expected to be like a saint descending to earth, benefiting the community. Why should it be so? Isn't everyone just working to earn some money? He paused for a moment, then quickly added, of course, there are many who are definitely doing it out of belief, out of love. Like you. I waved my hand to cut him off, indicating that I didn't mind. I glanced at my right arm and sighed imperceptibly, a bitter feeling rising within me. Indeed, many in the industry always harbor sincere dedication, fearlessly contributing to the medical field. I used to be able to say with a straight face that I was one of those people, but now, I no longer belong among them. My right arm isn't seriously injured at all. I could easily pop it back into place myself, but I didn't. I was leaving myself a way out. If something unexpected happens, it would serve as a perfect excuse for me to stay out of it. I am a complete coward. Pei Song's phone suddenly started vibrating non-stop. All thoughts were interrupted, and I hurriedly leaned in closer. His brother finally replied with a message, a wanted poster of a man. The man in the wanted poster bore the face of Li Cheng, but the name displayed was Li Chengdong. He indeed was a murderer and had been using a fake name. A call came through immediately after. Give me your exact location. We'll deploy action right away. Stay back and keep yourselves safe. Do not approach them. We quickly agreed. After hanging up, Pei Song and I looked at each other, both feeling a chill. Li Cheng was indeed a fugitive using a pseudonym. With 3 lives on his hands, all strangled to death, 3 flourishing college students, just went to the countryside to sketch and watch the sunrise, but because of a disagreement with Li Cheng, they were left forever in that small village. As for Su Hong, she was also using an alias and was on the fugitive list as Li Cheng's accomplice. Both individuals were despicably evil. I was incredibly nervous, my heart beating chaotically. It turns out Li Cheng's previous actions were to test me. Had any of my reactions been slightly off, he would have silenced me immediately, wouldn't he? Moments ago, I thought I had been extremely cautious in protecting myself and even planned a way out. Now, I suddenly realized that unwittingly, I had been skirting the edges of death several times. Confronting 2 cold-blooded murderers, I truly was audacious. 13. I don't know if Pei Song was missing a screw in his head. Just a few minutes ago, he was as scared as I was, but now, He was eagerly wanting to keep an eye on Li Chang's family and even tried to coax me into joining him. I quickly refused. Time ticked by, and the train was almost at the platform. The moment when the boy in the past fell had already passed. By now, the platform should be filled with police ready to arrest Li Chang, right? The course of fate must have changed entirely. I should be able to get away smoothly. Suddenly, Pei Song rushed back in a hurry. He hit the railing with a loud bang. He shielded me in the corner, using his body to firmly block others' views. I was confused. What's wrong? It's nothing, he replied quickly, but his voice trembled, not sounding like it was nothing at all. I wanted to ask more, but suddenly a sharp cry rang out not far away, Xiao Bao. My heart skipped a beat. That voice, it sounded like Su Hong's. I tightened my throat, finding it difficult to speak. Did that little boy still have an accident? Pei Song held my head firmly, staring intently into my eyes, his face serious. It has nothing to do with you. He hit his head directly on the ground, motionless on the spot. Even if you went, there was nothing you could do. The train will be here in a few minutes. There will be ambulances, just leave it to them. We were not far from Su Hong and the others. I could clearly hear her continuous wailing. She was crying and hoping someone would come and save her son. I even vaguely heard her calling my name, pleading for my help. The surrounding passengers all ran over to watch. The train announcements kept looping continuously. Passenger in need of urgent assistance, please could medical staff head to carriage 11, thank you. Passenger in need of urgent assistance, please could medical staff head to carriage 11, thank you. I sat frozen in place, my body trembling uncontrollably. Pei Song clutched my ears tightly, constantly whispering reassurances to me. I prayed silently, wishing for the train to reach the station quickly and for this ordeal to end. Those few minutes felt excruciatingly long. Finally, the train arrived at the station. The police quickly took control of the situation, evacuating the crowd, apprehending the fugitive. It was all done smoothly and efficiently. A boy was immediately taken away in an ambulance. As Pei Song and I exited the train station with the crowd, we ran into Su Hong. She was being escorted by 2 police officers towards a police car. Hunched over, her hair disheveled, she looked utterly defeated. When she saw me, she somehow found the strength to break free and charged at me with fury. But before she could get far, she was swiftly restrained again. The police pinned her down firmly, but she continued to struggle wildly, her eyes red, her voice hoarse. She yelled, "Aren't you a doctor? Why didn't you save my son, you despicable wretch? Where is your conscience, your medical ethics? Give me back my son." Maybe I felt a bit of pity for the boy, but for Su Hong and Li Chang, I only wished they would go to hell quickly. I touched my right arm lightly. Have you forgotten? You broke my arm. How could I save your son? You feel pain now. Didn't you ever consider that the person you killed was someone else's son too? Su Hong collapsed, she sobbed, giving up all resistance, and was dragged into the police car. I went straight to the hospital, went through the procedure to register for treatment, and my arm was securely bandaged. It felt like an overreaction, but it was better this way, to distance myself further from the ordeal. Pei Song found out from his brother that the boy didn't make it. He had already lost all signs of life by the time he was placed in the ambulance. His fate was sealed. I was lucky to have escaped with my life, a true redemption by fate. After treating my wound, I arrived home 3 to 4 hours later than expected. My parents were extremely worried. They had called me multiple times. I had to tell them I was at the hospital getting bandaged, which terrified them. My dad wouldn't hear of it. He insisted on picking me up himself. Once home, they treated me like a fragile porcelain doll, not letting me do anything. Even when changing shoes at the entrance, my mom came to help me. They tenderly comforted me, holding my securely bandaged arm. The dinner table was laden with all my favorite dishes. My mom, exaggerating even more, said I had injured my dominant hand and wanted to feed me herself. I repeatedly declined this sweet yet burdensome parental love. The news on TV reported that Li Chang and Su Hong, after many years, were finally apprehended. Li Chang was sentenced to death with a 2-year reprieve, and Su Hong to life imprisonment. Justice was finally served for the 3 young lives lost. The victims' parents wept bitterly on camera. My mom was deeply moved and cursed, "Those 2 are really despicable. The victims were their family's only children. Their parents must be devastated." I was scared to death when Qing said she was at the hospital. If anything had happened to her, I wouldn't want to live either. As she spoke, my mom couldn't help but tear up. I felt a pang in my heart and quickly forced a smile to comfort her. "I'm fine, aren't I? I'm right here, Mom, don't be sad." My dad also sighed deeply and patted my mom's back to comfort her. I noticed his eyes were quietly tearing up too. Thankfully, despite being a bit late and slightly injured, my parents still got to see their daughter return. The family was reunited.